it could be argued that the quality of your ground or soil in your allotment or your garden will determine how successful you're going to be in relation to your vegetables, plants and other things you might put in them. So therefore that tells us that the consistency of our soil and what's included in the soil is really, really important. So certain things we can do to the soil, including adding compost and other nutrients to the ground to help that process along. But also we can add something called leaf mould as an ingredient to the soil. And in this video I'm going to show you how to make leaf mould and what the benefits of it are, and also how easy it is. So if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe to the channel to get future videos on how to sow and grow fruit and veg and some recipe ideas, then press the subscribe button. And if you've got any comments or questions, then please put them in the comments below. So just like compost, leaf mould is a way of making use of the freely available resources that you'll find around an allotment or a garden, typically leaves. So at this time of year in the UK, which is autumn, there's lots of leaves that have now come off the trees and they're just lying around ready to be collected. So if you want to make leaf mould or compost, then it makes sense while they're here to collect as many as you possibly can. The type of soil we can have in an allotment or a garden can vary significantly. We can have soft, loamy, well draining soil right the way through to things like clays and soils that are not as free draining, and they all have an impact on the way in which the plants and the vegetables will grow. So our soil consistency therefore is quite important. Here you can see the soil is pretty good. It breaks up nice and easily into very small granules. And over the years in this allotment, the vegetables have been grown very successfully. But there's certain things we have to continually do to the soil to ensure that every year it provides the right level of nutrient and also is capable of continuing to grow the fruit and veg. So then what's the difference then between leaf mould and a traditional compost like you can see here in this bin? Well, this type of traditional compost involves creating a large pile of nitrogen-rich materials, which will be your greens, and carbon-rich materials, which will be your browns. There's a video that you would have seen a few episodes ago which shows you how to make compost, so you can look at that for further information. Typically you'll have a ratio of 1:30 between your greens and your browns. Browns will be the higher constituents, and this pile with traditional compost will break down through a bacterial or dominated system when it gets hot, very active at temperatures between 40 to 60 degrees centigrade. So you'll often hear people when they're making compost referring to the term cooking. And after the pile's been rotated a few times, you'll get your dark rich compost. Leaf mould, however, works in a very different way. Here you can see a pile of leaves that I've collected and put into my leaf bin here, and I'll show you in a moment how I made that very, very simply. Leaf mould just starts with simply a pile of leaves that have fallen, and they typically can sit between 1 to 3 years depending on how quickly you want your leaf mould. Now what you can do with the leaves, you can break them down. You can use a strimmer or a lawnmower to make them smaller, which will speed up the decomposition process. But the difference between leaf mould and compost is that the leaves will break down by a fungi action as opposed to bacteria, and that results in very little temperature increase, and the result of that will be your leaf mould that you can use for a whole range of different purposes. So the difference is that leaf mould is a fantastic soil amender or conditioner, but compost is more of a fertilizer. So over here, one of my allotment holder friends who's a few allotments up from me, Andy, he's started creating leaf mould. But what he's done, he's tried to speed up the process by breaking it down with a strimmer. You can do this with a lawnmower as well. And as you can see, if we look at this pile here, when we look at it, compared to the pile of just leaves off the tree, you can see it looks almost like a compost type of consistency. But what we'll see with this is this will break down much quicker. So in this case, Andy, for example, will be able to use that much quicker than waiting for the 1 to 3 years that I've previously mentioned. So the first thing you need to do is collect the leaves. You need something to collect them in, and a simple way of storing the leaves is to use these metal cages. Just in front of the leaf bin there you can see a roll of metal wire. I bought that, it cost me about 12 to 13 pounds, and it's a 4 metre length of wire, 900 millimeters high, so it's a perfect height, and I literally cut it in half really simply, and then just attached the cut ends together with some thin wire and made it into a circle. It's as simple as that to make, and here you can see it's a place for storing the leaves. So that's the way you'll make the bin, and with that spare roll you can see there in front, I'm going to make a second one and store some more leaves while they're still available. So what are the advantages then of using leaf mould? Well, the first thing is it's a good soil amender or conditioner, and it's the only type of amendment you'll need to add to your soil. It's carbon rich because it's contained of leaves, and it will result in an increase in the organic material in your soil. That helps to increase the structure of the soil itself and also the water bearing capacity of the soil. And that's important, particularly when you come into summer months or hotter months where the water will evaporate more quickly out of the soil. If you can allow the soil to be of a capacity that it can hold moisture more freely, then that's going to be an advantage for the plants, and that's what leaf mould will help you to do. The leaf mould will also support centipede and predatory beetles, and while you might think that that type of thing is a problem, they help to control other pests in the garden. So if that's in your soil, you're going to help to control the various other pests that may affect your fruit and vegetables and other plants in different ways. Leaf mould is also a great mulch for the garden soil. So if you put it around or on top of the soil around your fruit and vegetables and other plants, it helps to suppress the weeds and helps keep the soil nice and moist. So there you have it. Leaf mould is something very simple to make, and as you've heard, has a lot of potential benefits for your soil and for your fruit and vegetables and other plants. So why not give it a try? If you like the video, then give it the thumbs up. If you want to subscribe to the channel, then please do so. And if you have any comments or you have ways that you use leaf mulch that you want to share, then put them in the comments below and we can share those with others. So thank you very much for listening, and I'll see you on the next video.